smiling real hard. You must have done
Man,
something.
I'm telling you, life is good. I can't complain.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I'm feeling every minute of it, man. A lot of good things been happening. I had my
Mama
boys
said I'm
down.
better than
We
they
did a
they are
whole
better than
weekend of Boss Baby
they are.
Entertainment.
Yeah,
We
hell
did
yeah, way better.
Rose Bar. We did we went to Supper Club to eat. Then we did the Jonathan's.
Look at y'all. Y'all was
Then we
moving,
went to
huh?
Dreams. We killed the whole weekend, man. We bought all the bottles out. You know, they was like,
Okay.
yo, y'all got to bring them back. So it's going down, man. It's
All
going
right.
down.
I'm super proud of y'all, man. Like, guess what's up? And I'm glad to be part of it. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Like,
Well,
I hate that I couldn't be there with y'all this weekend, but yeah, it was really dope.
It's because you was working, so you know.
But
you're always welcome to come anywhere. But tell us who we got, man, up here today, man.
So we got Monta, Rich Homie Monta up here today. It's Quan, Rich Homie Quan, and Jacquees manager. Amongst a lot of things he do. I'll let him tell you the rest of it because, I mean, you talk about me being busy, this one right here stay busy. And always dropping good knowledge, so.
Okay, Rich Homie, where you at?
Say that again.
We trying to see you. We can't see you. We want the audience to see you.
I'm here.
Here we go, on deck. That's what's up.
What's up, Tay?
What's going on? How y'all feeling today?
Yeah, we feeling real good, man. Appreciate your patience, my brother, for real. Well, I'm gonna set it off. You know, I heard a lot about you, a lot of good things. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I seen your Instagram. I seen you you speak a lot of truth and a lot of knowledge up there. You know what I'm saying? And I commend brothers such as yourself that do that. So I just want to ask you, what made you get into wanting to give the knowledge to people through your Instagram? Because that's a very powerful tool to utilize that with.
Yeah, so if I had to say what made me get into that, man, it's just where I come from and what I believe in, right?
Right.
So in life, you have to understand everybody got a calling. So with me, I done did so many different things in my life, from coaching to, you name it, I done did it, you know what I mean? And then I decided a couple of years ago, if I was going to be on Instagram, I wanted to be on Instagram doing something, that's a little bit more positive and being able to be myself, because there's so much fakery on there, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I elected. You know what I'm saying? I decided, hey, man, you know what? I'm just going to give it to people raw and uncut. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to clean myself up when I do it. I talk how I talk, and I give it to people from a different perspective, because sometimes that's what we need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I was getting on there putting my other voice on, people wouldn't really listen to it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel you. Well, another thing I could say, I see you are real family orientated. I see you with your grandmoms up there. Grandmoms, I can tell she ain't nothing to play with, man, for real. And I love that. I see how y'all don't play about her.
Oh, yeah. Grandma definitely wasn't nothing to pray with. R.I.P. to her.
R.I.P. Grandma, man. But I love that. I love that about you as well, man. We need more brothers like you out here, man. That's what's going to make the youth turn into something positive with all this negative going on with our youth.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm trying to make y'all know y'all connection ain't that clear for me, so I'm trying to make out what you're saying.
What I was saying was, we need more brothers out here that's like you, man. So, Grandma did a good job with you. R.I.P. to her. So, we need brothers like you out here that can preach to the youth to, get that negativity out of their system and reach positive.
Definitely.
Yeah, I couldn't make it out, bro. I couldn't make it out. Now you saying. Jenna, see if you can say what he just said for me.
He was just saying that, like, what you doing, what you talking about and everything. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound a little bit better, but not that much. You know what I'm saying? But you sound a little bit better.
Okay, he was just saying that everything you're doing is very positive, and the youth need people like you, need more young men like you to be out here talking to them and letting them know like how to do things. And so he just proud of what you're doing, and he just telling you to keep up the good work. Keep on speaking your truth and saying what you're saying.
Okay, if I heard right, you saying the youth need the positivity. Basically, in a nutshell, the youth need the positivity out here.
Yes.
And people like me out here talking to them. That's what you were saying.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, they do. Man, we got what's called the Hood Water Boys out here in Atlanta, because I live in Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of people don't know. And man, when I see them out on the corners and stuff like that, a lot of times I stop and I talk to them and I give them new ways to do what they're doing, and I just try to elevate their minds, because a lot of the problem that we have in our community right now is our youth raising our youth. You know what I'm saying? So you take most of my peers. I know my daughter 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in my mid-30s, and a lot of these younger boys at 12 and 13, they mama's 25 and 26 years old, and they can't control their kids. You know what I'm saying? So I'm strong on believing that a village raised a child. Like I honestly believe that a village raised a kid, and when you got the village around you, you know what I'm saying, you can achieve a whole lot more. So I believe in giving my time and my energy to the youth. You know what I'm saying? Some of them you can't touch, but I just feel like it's something that you can say to everybody to touch them at a certain particular time.
I always say, if you can reach one, even if you spoke to 20 or 100, if you can reach one or two, you did your job, what you're supposed to do.
You did your job, yeah.
Exactly.
I made that part out. Yeah, I feel like, and that's the biggest part to it, the social media, man. Like, I see so many people. Like, I was just in the mall with my little brother and my little cousin now, and I just get stared down so much, because regardless of how we want to see it, even on the social media, they gonna at some point come across me and hear something that I say. You know what I'm saying? Like, something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had in 8 years, I had my first viral moment, July the 5th, and shit, I reached 4 million people with talking about the black on black crime. You know what I'm saying?
Powerful.
And, if everybody feel like everybody got an opinion towards it, but we all have opinions, but inside of an opinion is a fact somewhere.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
And
big.
the fact of the matter is, if we want to change our society, our culture, it starts with us. You know what I'm saying? We can't allow nobody to keep stripping us to believe that, oh, the crime is a myth. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we gotta stop killing each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly. That's big. And
we definitely got to. I mean, that's real out there. We're out here, period.
And another thing I seen on your Instagram, with that same thing you saying, with Farrakhan saying black lives matter when a white person kill a black man, but when we kill a black man, we don't jump on that situation, because it ain't good for us to kill each other also. How we gonna help each other if we kill each other?
Yeah. See, I had been speaking on it for so long, and I never knew, what Minister Louis Farrakhan approach was. So one day somebody sent it to me and was like, bruh, like, this is powerful. And it made me feel rejuvenated, because I was like, damn, this Farrakhan, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is one of the most powerful innovators I know of my generation, coming, my generation, my mom's generation, and many back, you know what I'm saying? So to know that I was speaking on something that I didn't get this from, sometimes we speak on things that we get from people. Yeah. Like right now, T.I. is streamlining a lot of stuff that these younger people saying. So that's where my negligence came in terms of talking to it, because people was commenting on my post saying, oh, Black Lives Matter, black on black, to say that that's a myth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people were saying it to me. So I kept saying, well, I see the same people. The way they quoting this stuff is kind of the same quote. So I Googled it one day, y'all.
Right.
And I'm like, why is they saying it's a myth? Because I had never heard it was a myth. And it came back, and it was a quote that T.I. had quoted. And I'm like, okay. So people that follow him was attacking me, saying the things that he had said. Mm-hmm. And I understand what they're saying. I understand that they say the word black on black crime is something that they use to deflect whatever, but it's still truth within the word. You know what I'm saying? I can't worry about what go on in your household. In order to tell you about your household, I got to fix mine first. So if I got problems in my household, I got to fix mine before I can come give you any of that. So it's not a myth. We got to correct our communities before we can ask anybody to come down and say, hey, we're going to shake hands, black people. We got to love black people more than they going to ever love us. They not going to love us. You come into our community, there's a lot of BS going on. You know what I'm saying?
For nothing.
But the question is, how do we get everybody to understand that? Because they understand our power, but we don't understand our power. Because if we did, we wouldn't be killing each other, and we would come together and work together.
Well, we understand our powers, don't understand. in the black community, what I have overstand is lack of patience, the lack of knowledge is the same thing and the same reasons that slaves were hated it back in the day. We became slaves because they wanted to take away knowledge and power from us. So,
Right.
I can remember what they was teaching me in school. Oh, the slaves, they didn't want you to learn how to read. They didn't want you to learn how to write. And when you learned how to read and write, they lynched you and beat you because you became powerful and you were going to let the people around you have more power than they had.
Right.
So that's still going on right now today in 2020 in the African American community. And the problem with that is the easiest way to trick a black man is said if you don't want to read is because we lack patience. So we kind of want people to give us everything. So, and a lot of times with us and with people, I can't just say blacks, with certain people, when knowledge is put in your face, what we do when we don't understand, we turn to anger and we turn to violence because we just don't understand something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Frustration is powerful.
Do I think in my lifetime in the next 20 years, I pray to God every day. In the next 20 years, I pray to God every day I live 70 more years. But in the next 70 years, do I think we'll go back to what we were? Black people were never violent people. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I don't know. But I think what can happen is if we able to play businesses like the Shade Room, shit like that, if we boycott that type of shit, we'll start taking away a lot of negative shit in our community. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. You can say
I
World
don't
Star
follow
too.
it. I don't do none of that because y'all fit to promote. Yeah, you promote the demise of our own
Of
people.
our own people. That's
Exactly.
right.
World Star letting people get knocked out, and then they throw it on camera like it's funny, and that makes a person even mad and want to go kill up something. You know what I'm saying? They might wasn't thinking about it. They took the ass whooping at the beginning and say, all right, it was a fair fight. But when you put it on World Star, oh hell no. Now that person's so angry that they ain't thinking now and go and take another person's life and take his as well. Unless living in jail forever is taking your own life.
Yeah.
So it all goes with coincide with everything you saying right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Tay, I want to ask you something.
It's one of them things that we gotta.
Go ahead. Finish your
Go ahead.
thought.
I'm listening to you. No, I was basically just saying that's the part of what I was saying where he just finished that.
Right.
I want you to speak to, to our audience about COVID because you see how the numbers are going up again, right? And people out here wilding, no mask and everything. And I know you can speak to us from a perspective of somebody who has had it. So, like, can you speak to the people about it? Because people ain't believing it is real.
Yeah, people think I at one point when it first, when I first started hearing about it, I was like, man, come on, man, what's going on?
Right.
And I'm not gonna say that I didn't take it serious, but I felt like it was a conspiracy behind it. And in the light of anything that's serious is always something that we don't know behind it for the people that don't understand that. And I took it serious enough I got COVID and I was at home by myself, was isolating myself, and I still ended up with COVID. Something came over me one day that I had never felt in my life. Like, I done been sick before. I done had the flu. And I was one of them people that was like, hey, if you had a flu, we all gonna touch this virus at some point. Well, I sat in my house on July the 26th, and I just got real weak while I was driving. And the next day I went and got tested for it, and 2 days later they told me I was in critical condition. You know what I'm saying? And my diagnosis was COVID-19, SARS 2. It was SARS 2. So I spent a couple days at the hospital. My saturation got better. For those that don't know what saturation is, it's your oxygen levels in your body. And I bought an O2X machine, like they go on your finger, that they put on your finger to check your pulse and the oxygen levels in your body. Right. And me being a young black man that's athletic or whatever, it attacked me in ways that a lot of people that I still tell to today, even the doctors was like, damn, like I went through every symptom of it. And when I tested negative, it attacked my immune system, my respiratory system after it was negative. So it's a real powerful virus. And a lot of doctors are saying it's not even a virus, it's a bacteria. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, man, it's serious for the people that don't think it's, don't think it's real. Like, I lost my cousin 13 days into his. He had a blood clot in his leg that moved up to his heart. It was triggered by COVID. Like, it ain't nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you get the disease, yeah, they figuring out ways now. Well, I'm gonna say disease because that's what it seems like.
Right.
You
Right.
get it, they figuring out ways to help. Man, if we could take it a little bit more serious and people could isolate themselves, like I don't go nowhere without. I got masks everywhere. Like I keep them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see when I first
Yeah.
got on,
So
I
we
had it
got
on.
on.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's something that we here in Georgia, our governor told us, like, I'm not shutting stuff down no more. This is something that's here to stay. We got to learn how to deal with it, and that's true. But we got to figure out different ways where we can protect each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Definitely.
You definitely a blessing, my brother. That right there is like crazy. But I'm glad you can be an advocate of that as well, because of you went through it, not just talking. You know what I'm saying? So I commend you on that as well. Like when I went through your page, I see your energy, and it's like on 1,000. So I'm like, yo, that's a beautiful thing. And and Jenna, she picked the right person for this interview, because I'm a person that looks into people that speak truth and good things, and about helping and educating. So when I seen this one, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a good fourth episode for us. So it's an honor to really meet you, and understand your growth and your pain you went through, and turned it into growth still.
Yeah.
So that's big, for real.
Nah, I appreciate it. Like when Jenna asked me to do it, like I ain't gonna never. We had to go through some back and forth to figure out my timing because I be moving around so much. I actually got to go to a listening session now with one of my buddies.
Right.
They just started a label, but I'm always enthused about getting on and being able to spread things. And Instagram is just one thing for me. I'm a real powerful person. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not
Right.
powerful by what I can touch. I'm powerful by my beliefs and what come out my mouth. You know
Right.
what
That's
I'm
right.
saying? And everything that come out my mouth is something that I've been through. It's something that I done lived. And I feel like I can touch people because, we all got a story. And I just recently, about 2 years ago, had to start understanding that because I was one of them people that felt like I'm the only one that been through this. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
every human being go through something at some particular point in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people out here that lost limbs, legs, or all of the above. It's people get
Right.
shot every day. I done been shot. I used to feel like, man. But it's people that go through it. People lose their lives. They ain't got the story to tell no more. But I do believe in the afterlife, and I do
Right.
believe that we all done been here before. That's how the world keeps cycling and standing on this pivot. So
Right.
and whenever somebody asks me to speak, I speak. You know what I'm saying? Like I talk. And I'm always oblivious to be able to get the opportunity to speak on anybody's platform. I don't turn down many, man. Nothing is too small, nothing is too big for me. You know what I'm saying?
That's big. That's what's up. And another quick question. I see you look like you're into the cars and building motors and all that stuff. Did I see that correct?
Yeah. I'm a car enthusiast, man. Like I've been messing with cars all my life, so
Right.
I'm one of them people that take $20,000-$30,000 and put it in a motor.
Oh man, no doubt. Yeah, shoot. The kids can learn a lot about that too. Keep them busy. Keep them doing something that's positive. And
Yeah,
that 30,000.
it's not many African Americans that know how to do it.
Right.
Yeah, it's not
Exactly.
many African Americans that know how to build motors and get into the engineering of cars. Like I could build a whole car from scratch.
Right. That's big.
That is.
That's big. And I seen that. I'm like, oh, homie is on some
Yeah.
some real movement right now. Building a car like
Yeah, that's
that.
one of my secrets though. That's one of my secrets. I just started really exposing it on the internet. Like I think like 2 years ago, I put up a picture of me and my old auto mechanic teacher, and I
Right.
was like, you never know what kind of book you judging. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's right.
you see me in the cars, people see my cars at different shops and stuff like that, and I'm from the projects, so a lot of times the things that I put out and the things that I overcame, like I can't brag about none of it. Like even though we take bragging as a negative, bragging and still have a positive behind it. They're just like ignorance. Like when we say
Exactly.
ignorant, people think they automatically think the negative to it. But it's a noun and a pronoun, you know what I'm saying? And it's an
Right.
adjective, all of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Everything has a double meaning to it. So, I like to brag sometimes to be able to enhance and manipulate the younger
Yes.
men to feel like,
Exactly.
man, I could work on cars. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
I could do that,
I
like,
could
cause
do
the
it
average
better. I
person,
could do
like,
it
man, I
better.
don't know nothing about that. Yeah, you don't know nothing about it cause of your interest.
Right. Exactly. And I'm glad that you said that, because we come from the streets. We've been there, done a lot of things, well, such as myself. But when we talk to the kids about what we used to do, not for bragging, so they can understand that we went through it and we doing this and letting y'all know about it so y'all
So
don't,
y'all don't
have
have
to
to.
go through it.
Yeah.
And the only way they're gonna believe us is if we let them know we did it. Like you fixing cars and you showing them you fixing cars. So the only way they're gonna believe us if we show them that we really done that, leave that alone. So it all goes together. So once you showing them that you can fix the car, yeah, you can't do this. So now you're challenging them to want to go and do it. And that's a smart way to approach something like that. That's big.
Yeah, when I started coaching baseball, I had already messed up my life. Because when I say life, that's all I ever really wanted to do. I didn't have a career path. So when I went back and messed up everything because I wanted to fight and do all the dumb stuff, I mean, for any young people that hear this, like I took an opportunity. I had a deal on the table when I was 18 years old, $2.5 million to do something that I wanted to do, but I wanted to prove to my people that's around me, I ain't no punk, and I got to fighting, and I messed up my right throwing arm the day before I was supposed to go try out.
Wow.
And long story short, man, when I got into coaching, I got into coaching because I could relate and I felt like the boys would be relatable. So my coach was a relatable coach and he played for the Expos and he did his thing, but he would get out there and he ran with us and did everything. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm not gonna get out here and just yell at these boys, scream at them. Like everything I asked them to do, I got out there and showed them I can do it. And it's what made me one of the greatest coaches of the time went going back to the schools that I coached at.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like them kids, really to this day, they can relate. They not gonna say, "Oh, that was just my coach." Like a lot of them really be like, "Man, own the truth." You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
right.
No doubt. That's a good thing.
everything he telling us to do, I tell you to hit the ball like this, it's gonna do this. I get up there, I hit the ball like that, show you exactly what it's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
it just, a lot of stuff in our community is mistaken to be like, a lot of people tell me, "Oh, you're showing off." Like I get real. That make me cringe. Like I go to Top Golf. I know how to. I'm athletic. If you were the wrong group of people, and that's something else that we have to realize as black people too. Like we criticize too much. We criticize for things that we don't understand. Man, it's like
Right.
you'll sit on and give Tiger Woods and all them praise, but your
Right.
brother go outside and learn how to do it, and when he start doing it, you'll say he's showing off. And when
Mm-hmm.
you do people like that, it make people go in the shell and they be afraid to put stuff on the forefront. The only thing we
Right.
look up to is people that then made it to the professionals. Like that's all we look at. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But those
Right.
they regular people. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Exactly.
true.
Just on TV. That's all.
That's it.
That's a fact,
That's
bro.
it.
Yeah.
It's 20 little boys in the hood that if they had somebody that wasn't down in them and telling them you lame and this and that could be on that TV that could save their families. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we lose about 35% of our athletes and our band kids and all that. Well, when it comes to band, we lose about 75% of them every year through peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? I was
Right.
in the band. I was a drum major.
I
And
was
it's
too.
been,
That's crazy,
yeah,
man.
yeah, oh, you lame, you lame, you lame. And I hate that, man. I tried to start a movement to recreate that in my city, but it's like the government not willing to give any assistance around here in terms of it because they try to make it like education means something. But this what I know. I know that if you give a kid something to look forward to behind education, you educate them more.
That's right.
Exactly. Exactly.
You
It
know what
seems
I'm
like you
saying?
should be able to get a grant for that, though, Tay. Some type of
It
grant.
Yeah, I got impatient with it. I ain't gonna lie, because it started to be hard when I was doing my Better Men program back in the day, and I had the owner of the company I used to work for. He was gonna donate like 500,000, and then the music kicked off, and then I end up getting hurt, and then they end up giving me a FMLA leave of absence, and I didn't have no more faith in the man at that point because I was like, well, and he didn't know nothing about it. But
Right.
it was hard because I want all the schools to be like they was. Like Drumline was about my school in Southwest DeKalb. That's what the reason the movie was made. It's a culture thing. Like
Yes.
band is a cultural thing. Like that's
Definitely.
Definitely
black
is.
heritage. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
It
Mm-hmm.
is. Facts.
So we the king of the halftime show. Like people didn't
That's
come when
right.
I was like people didn't come to watch the football game when I was in it. Like I got videotapes I can show people. 300 people screaming Monta.
Right. No doubt. No
You
doubt.
know, like
God
I
sent
went
you
to the
on another
Nation's Day
path.
parade.
God's still working with you. You know what I'm saying? Which is a beautiful thing.
That's right.
And another question, how did you get into management? You managed Rich Homie, Quan, and you managed Jacquees.
Definitely.
How did you
I got into
get into?
management by default, if I must say. And a lot of people, you know what I'm saying. I'm glad you asked me that question. And I'm gonna take the time out to explain it. Quan was one of my baseball kids that I'm telling you when I started coaching. So in 2004, 2003, I went to the park, Gresham Park here in Atlanta, and I used to talk to his mom and stuff because he could play. And she was talking about sending him to another school because his brother went to a school closer to, where they were from.
Right.
And Quan's grandma lived in the area of the school. So, I begged his mom, like, bring him up there with me. I got him. Well, she brought him there. He was real shy. He was real timid. I didn't know nothing about music when it came to him. Like I say, I always wanted a little brother. My little brother was detached. We got the same dad, different moms, so we didn't
Right.
get in each other's life till we was 18 years old. But he was real detached from me. So
Right.
I always felt like I wanted to have like this little brother. So Corn became my little brother, through my mentorship program and stuff like that he didn't even know I had at that time because I didn't want to scare him away. And he took to me real well. And a lot of people used to say we looked alike. So, his junior year, he started slacking, started smoking, doing stuff like that. And I went to him one day and I was like, man, you need to be on the field. What you doing? And he was like, man, I'll be out there tomorrow. The next day come, he wasn't there. The next day he came out there and I could just tell someone right with him. So the next day I called him, 3 days period, I called him at the top waiting on the ride. And I was like, what you doing? And he was like, man, I've been rapping. He was talking real fast. I'm like, rapping. And I ain't gonna lie, I tell the world this. I was like, man, damn, I got mad. Like, you rapping? Like, man, come on, man. Like, everybody want to do that. And at that point, I told him, I was like, look, man, whatever you want to do, I'm behind you. So after he graduated, his mom called me because he had been at this studio and dudes had got shot at the studio. And she was like, hey, can you find him somewhere else to record? So me personally, I went out and bought a Lexicon Pro with Cubase on it. I learned how to engineer him. He taught me how to do certain stuff, and we would sit at my apartment in the Madison at Waterford was the name of the apartments, and I turned my pantry in the kitchen to the booth, and
Wow.
we would sit there and just record and record and record, and and he made magic there. And a year
Wow.
later, probably a couple months later, he got arrested. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people hear that story, and he did 15 months in the county jail. And when he got out, we met Teaser, which was our old CEO. And
Right.
Teaser had a studio and put the money behind him. And at that point, a lot of people don't know this, and I tell people, I give everybody something different about me. I went to Phoenix University online to try to take up classes because I didn't want to be able to mislead him when I knew that it was serious. Like,
Wow.
man, let
That's
me stay
big.
here. And I couldn't take it no more because the stuff that I was learning, my uncle was Al. He was one of the people that helped with Uncle Luke back in the day. Like, my uncle used
Yeah.
to hang with them. It's my uncle-in-law. He used to hang with them back in the day. So I had been around music, you know what I'm saying, and been around certain stuff. So I always had attorneys and stuff I could ask questions. So me personally, I tell the world, anything you get into, if you learn how to have patience brings perseverance. So
Right.
when I got in it, I was just like, if I didn't know something, I'm this type of person like a spelling bee. I ask you to explain to me what you're talking about.
Right.
And once you explain it to me, I started breaking stuff down. And then I went and learned how to read contracts. That's what 90% of people don't know how to do.
Right.
And I learned how to read contracts. And once I learned how to read contracts, I became one of the best negotiators ever. Me and
Right.
Corn Daddy, like Corey, I'm the best
Yeah, I heard his
negotiators.
father run with him a lot. His father run with him a lot. One of my friends
Yeah,
used
that's
to
my
do
right
security
hand.
for him. You ever knew Shelton? They
You
call
say
him.
what, bro?
One of my friends used to do security for him when y'all was running when he had his
Who you talk
first hit.
about, Shell?
Shell, yeah. He
Oh,
used
that was
to.
my man. Like, Shell could tell you a lot about me.
Yeah, yeah. That's my family. He from Harlem. I'm from Harlem, no doubt. That's big.
Yeah. Yeah,
He,
Shell was with us for a long time, man. I see him sometime. He was out there with the Migos, and
yeah, he
he was
run with the
with Gucci
Migo,
Gucci
Gucci
at one
man.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He make his moves and he try to stay humble and all
He
that.
a real humble dude, brother. I love him to death. You know what I'm saying? We had our differences. Me and him, we did have some differences at the end. But
Right,
that's the biggest part about life that I talk about with black people. Like, and I can speak on it even with Shell. Like,
right,
he did some things that was like, man, I can't believe he did that. He hurt me. I ain't gonna lie, he hurt me.
right,
But to this day, I learned how to just forgive You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, matter of fact, let me say move on, because I don't believe in forgiveness, because forgiveness is a word that we use to streamline, because it's hard to say I'm gonna forgive you for something that I never forget.
Right. No
Like,
doubt. I feel you.
That's
I
real.
feel you.
if I'm gonna continue to always I dwell on stuff. So if I ain't gonna be able to forget it, I can't forgive.
Right.
That's
That's a
right.
fact. That's big. You just taught me something new. That's how I feel, though. I don't know about forgiving certain people, but I can just move forward. That's good.
Yeah, we could just move on. We can move on, and
Right.
saying I forgive you is something that we put on the Lord. Like we say, oh, God is forgiving or whatever, whatever. But
Right.
when it's time to enter them gates, like some people be denied if you have to ask
Right.
me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So how did you meet Jacquees? I did work with Jacquees as well. Do you remember Music Moguls?
Yeah, I met Jacquees when we started dealing with TIG back in 2011. We started
Okay.
dealing with Fly, 2011,
Fly,
2012, and
yeah.
Fly was managing Jacquees at the time.
Right.
And me and Fly was real close to the point where we used to talk damn near every other night. And he was having little problems with the kid at the time. He was getting tattoos, and Fly didn't want to mess his image up. But I was, like I told you, when I say powerful, I was one of them people that he listened to. Like, he really used to listen to me.
Right.
And that's Fly I'm talking about. And that situation flourished with them. We got Quan to be on the roller coaster song back then, and we would just see Jacquees in passing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we had made it, so he probably looked up to us a little bit. So in 2014, him and Fly's time had expired, and he was looking for a new home. And he called me that night, because Quia Aries, he one of them, he just gonna call and get multiple opinions.
Right.
And he called me first and asked me a little random question. Then he hung up the phone. He called Corey, and he called my buddy with Street Execs. And within like 30 minutes, he had called all of us. So he started a chain of like, hey, what's going on with Quee? And it was like a lottery pick.
Right.
And Corey called me and was like, bro, this kid Jacquees called me, man. What you think? I was like, shit, I'm ready to work with him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I like to use the terminology like when people say having a plug. I was the plug at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh-huh.
I was the plug in the retail. I was the plug in the streets. I was
Right.
the car plug. I was the plug. I had that powerful cell phone.
Right.
And
I mean myself.
we next thing you know, bro, we worked it out with him. We talked to him. We made him sign to our management company, Linwood Agency at the time.
Right.
Corey ended up being hospitalized for being shot. A lot of people know about that.
Right.
And I was kind of running it with our accountant at the time. His name was Cy, and we signed him. He wanted to be with Rich Gang real bad. Of course, a lot of people know we was right hands with Bird. Like, we was right there with him. Like, call him. I could text him. Corey could call him. And
Right.
we took him to one. And on our face, Bird was like, I ain't never dealt with R&B, but just because of y'all, I'm a rock with the kid.
Right.
And within that year, man, shit, we made six figures that first year. You know what I'm saying? And we
Right.
took, I didn't make Jacquees. I turned Jacquees into the person that he could, and started making him be able to move around. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Right.
I never took the fourth. A lot of people think, oh, when you say management, like, we built the management team.
Right.
So I handled the touring and booking, and like co-managed. Jonathan was his primary day-to-day manager. We had problems with that, and I pushed for Jonathan to be back in his main position, because he had been there, and I didn't want to never take away from that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
That's
here we
real.
go in 2020, and he one of the biggest R&B artists right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I put him
Yeah.
on
facts.
his first tour. You know what I'm saying? I put a lot of stuff in that kid. And I call him a kid because but he really like my little brother. I put a lot of stuff in his ear to kind of help him streamline his career. And when I had to leave, you know what I'm saying, the year after all that started, I just went back working with Jacquees 2 years ago.
Right.
I left for 2 years, went back because it was just hard, and these artists, man, a lot of them don't like to hear it, but a lot of artists turn their backs on the people that started with them, man. And
Yes.
it'd be kind of hard dealing with it. So, it's hard for me to deal with it right now to this day, because, if I helped y'all put your platform together, and your mics won't work without me, and then you go out here and you say you start making money off of it, and you start saying, oh, I don't need you no more. Well, when you
Right.
call me to fix that microphone, I'm gonna be like, fuck you.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know
I'm
what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of people don't realize. With anything in business, man, you gotta have a whole lot of loyalty. So that's my story with the two artists I manage three of them right now. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Who's the third one, Ante?
Danny B. I got Danny B out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Okay.
hmm
So let
That's
me
my
ask you something to tell people that's like really trying to get in the game, because the music industry has changed so much. Like, what would you tell up and coming artists like now? What would be your advice?
my advice to anybody getting in the game is, perseverance is a word that I use. You got to have perseverance. You got to have patience, and you got to believe in yourself more than anybody gonna ever believe in you. Be steadfast. Be coachable. Most artists not coachable. Most artists are, and I'm telling you this because I know this. Um, Most artists that have that it factor, because
Mm-hmm.
that's real. Most artists that have it, they don't want to listen to nobody that come around them. So when you trying to get in a position of power, because that's what it is right now. The music industry is our government, the black community government, like real
Right.
talk. You know
Real
what I'm
talk.
saying? So when you get in a position to where you want to go and you want to get into it, like I tell everybody this: have a backup plan. Let music have three backup plans. Let music be number three, but let it be number one. If you understand what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
focus on it, but live your life doing something else and put, the time and the energy into that. That way you know how to multitask and be able to do things if it ever take off for you. A lot of these artists get in the game, and I can use Quan for instance. Quan is an artist. That's all he ever really done at this point. He went from playing baseball to being an artist. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
Right.
saying? So and you just got to be able to listen, and you got to be able to listening is the biggest part, man. If I can't say, because I can't tell them about talent, because if they in it, they know they gonna feel like they have talent and be able to take criticism. You know what I'm saying? If something ain't right or somebody don't like your craft or what you doing, be able to take criticism. A lot of people think everything that they do is oh, this it. No, man, I hear a lot of garbage music, and I call it garbage. You know what I'm saying? Because you take garbage and you melt it down and you make it into some other type of material. I'm not trying to tear you down, but I'm just, I'm telling you, like, hey, man, that's trash. Like, people don't
Mm-hmm.
understand what another man trash is somebody else's
It's
treasure.
treasure.
You know
That's
what I'm
Exactly.
right.
saying?
That's a fact.
So, that's my advice to any up and coming artist, man. Just have perseverance and have patience, and that'll do you a whole lot better than being upset, being mad, dumping all your money into it. Some people want it so bad they don't even understand how to not want it.
No doubt.
That's true.
Exactly. That's facts, man.
It's like a woman. Like, I done had some women in my life to where I made it. I let you know that I liked you, and I backed up, and I just wait 2, 3, 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might smile one day. She might, if it's really meant to happen, she gonna see me.
Right. Exactly.
But if I keep pushing, 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 she gonna be like, man, this nigga crazy, or he
Right.
seducing, or he annoying.
Thirsty. Right. Nah. Right.
Facts.
Yeah, you speak some truth, my brother. For real. Like I said, it's definitely a pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. And yeah, we know you got to run and take care of your business. But yo, we're gonna have this conversation again because I already can tell you have a brilliant mind and you got a lot more to talk about and teach these people, and that's what Street Knowledge Podcast is all about.
That's right.
And we definitely got to have you back again, man. For real. We
Hey,
probably come
y'all
down
got
there
to
and
have me
hang
back
with you.
for everything clear and everybody can hear me, and we sitting there. We got to get it back on. We got to do it. I got to have y'all on my podcast. I got a podcast too. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So,
We coming to Atlanta
let's,
soon.
Yes.
yeah, y'all come on down, man. I appreciate y'all for having me for real, man.
No doubt, my brother.
It's a blessing to be able to speak the truth and, what I'm saying, put it out here and be in front of other colleagues, what I'm
Right.
saying, giving people something that they do. So I congratulate y'all on y'all success, because it's
Thank you.
Thank
success.
you so much.
You know what I'm
Appreciate
saying?
you.
And I appreciate y'all for having me for real.
No doubt, homie. Well, you
Thank
have a
you.
good time,
Be
man.
safe, okay?
And
All
we'll
right, y'all do the same, man. Appreciate